Hey students, we're going to start a new unit on quadratics. So we're going to start off with basic attributes of quadratic functions. Basic attributes basically say that what are some features that distinguish the quadratic from everything else? Well, you're going to find out that the quadratic shares a lot of things in common with the absolute value function we just studied. For right now, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and copy this image down. Pause the video, rewind it if you need to. I will be moving on. But again, pause the video so that you can copy and draw anything that you need to. Ladies and gentlemen, right here we have a quadratic or a parabola which has a vertex at 4, -4. That is this point right here that we call a vertex. Notice that the quadratic function, unlike the absolute value, is nice and curvy. The next attribute we'd like to talk about is the line of symmetry. This line, x equals 4, cuts the parabola exactly in half. So everything on the left side looks exactly like everything on the right side. Absolute value graphs had that one too. The domain. The x values for a quadratic function is all real numbers. Doesn't matter what it looks like. A quadratic function always has all real numbers as the domain. And the range, ladies and gentlemen, is where the lowest part or the highest part, in this case, the lowest part of the graph is -3 for the y value. Oops, -4 for the y value. My apologies. It's -4 for the y value, sorry. And it goes greater than that. So y is going to be greater than or equal to -4. So it starts at -4 and goes up from there. The x-intercepts. The x-intercepts for a quadratic are right here where it crosses the x-axis at 2, 0 and 6, 0. The y-intercept is right up here at 0, 9. It's important that we write these intercepts as points. There are other ways to write them, but right now we want to write them as points. Okay, a location on the graph. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what I'd like you to do is go ahead, copy this graph down, and pause the video, label the vertex, the line of symmetry, the domain, the range, and the x-intercepts. I hope you paused the video and drawn this graph. The vertex of this particular graph is -5, 6. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's my vertex. The line of symmetry, ladies and gentlemen, is, pardon me, there's a lot of little pieces here. What is going on? There you are. X equals -5. Once again, the vertex has a little bit to do with that line of symmetry. The domain for this quadratic is, of course, all real numbers. All real numbers. Now the range. This quadratic or parabola is upside down. So the highest it goes is +6. So it goes from +6 all the way down, which means y is less than or equal to +6. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, the x-intercepts. This graph crosses the x-axis at both -7, 0 and -3, 0, right here and here. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and go to the next graph. I'd like you to go ahead and copy this down. Label the vertex, the line of symmetry, the domain, the range, the x-intercepts, and the y-intercept. Go ahead, pause the video, and answer this and draw this graph. After pausing the video, I hope that you wrote down that the vertex of this particular quadratic is located at 0, -4, right down here. The line of symmetry, ladies and gentlemen, is at x equals 0. Cuts the parabola right in half. The domain of all quadratics is all real numbers, so that's a no-brainer. The range. This graph happens to have a low point, and then it goes up from that low point. The low point here is at -4, so y is going to be greater than or equal to -4. Hopefully you found out where this crosses the x-axis and the y-axis. Let's look at the x-axis first. It crosses the x-axis, ladies and gentlemen, at -2, 0 and 2, 0. That would be right here on the x-axis. Here and here. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, the y-intercept. Where does it cross this y-intercept? Well, it's down here at -4. So we're going to put 0, -4. Those are the notes, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's relatively quickly, but please rewind the video, pause the video anytime you need to. We'll be going over these attributes in class. Thank you for watching.